good afternoon. Good afternoon. It's just me. It's just me. I think John is there in the chat over on Twitch, though. But let's face it, we're honest on this show, and John told me straight. He said, I'm too hungover. Too hungover. He had a good old drink last night. Good afternoon, Chrissy. I see you there in the chat. How are you? I hope you are well. And I figured, you know, it's Saturday. It's Saturday afternoon. I might as well do something like we used to do in the old days. Now, I did invite John to do this as well, but should we take a look at what's going on over on the old Twitter? Shall we see what's trending? Shall we have a look at stories? And obviously, you're all entitled, if you are watching this, whatever platform you're on, if you're on Twitter, if you're on Twitch, or you're on YouTube, you're entitled to chuck me over things you want me to read about. It's not going to go forever. It's not going to be a long show. It's just going to be a bit of fun. Anyway, let me do some magic with the camera. And there we go. Here we are. Look, we're on Twitter. And the first thing I want to talk about is Pizza Hut. Now, the reason I want to talk about Pizza Hut is I saw Get Woke, Go Broke, or Go Woke, Go Broke was trending. And I thought, what's that? What's that? And the top tweet here on the trends, oh, they're sort of refreshing as we see. Go Woke, Go Broke. The neo-Marxists that run the Brandon admin will go down in history as by far the worst ever, implementing socialist policy which 75 to 90% of the US doesn't approve of. The MSN has been sugarcoating their failures and cannot hide anymore. November reckoning underway. So that's about the midterms there over in November. But have we lost the Pizza Hut thing? Is that gone now? Are they trying to suppress that trend? But it appears that Pizza Hut have decided to include some kind of book. I'm gonna go top latest. We'll have a look at the trends. We'll go away from that for a minute. So BlackRock is now trending. Dolores Umbridge from the Harry Potter franchise is trending. Shakira announcing her split from Barcelona, whoever. But we want to focus in on this Pizza Hut thing at the moment. So we'll go Pizza Hut. 2,080 tweets in the last hour, as you can see. So from Fox News, we'll take a look at this. Make sure the screen's not really lined up very well here. I shall make it the correct size for you now. Pizza Hut features Drag Kids book for children as young as kindergarten. So Pizza Hut's Book It reading program features a book titled Big Wig, which is a story about children who dress in drag and is geared towards kids as young as kindergarten. Now that's, for those of us in the United Kingdom, that's pretty much preschool, reception, very, very young children. And the first question I want to ask is, why do our kids need to know about this? My kids do not need to know about this. They are 5 and 8 years old. What they need to learn is basic academics. What they need to learn is how to be a good, human being, be a good kid. And also, with my son being autistic, he's not going to understand nuances and the like. And he isn't. That's just the fact. That is him. That is the way he is. And now I know this isn't school. This is Pizza Hut. But there has been a backlash. Let's continue the article. Pizza Hut is featuring a book about drag kids as one of the books promoted by its Book It reading program aimed at children in pre-kindergarten through 6th grade. The Book It website features a book titled Big Wig and states that the reading is geared towards children in pre-kindergarten through 3rd grade. Big Wig is a picture book that celebrates drag kids according to the description on the Simon & Schuster website. Now, Simon & Schuster are usually quite anti-woke, and the reason I say that is they gave Milo Yiannopoulos, I believe, his book deal. They may have cancelled him, I'm not sure, but they took a chance on him at the very least. And so that's very odd. In the spirit of Julian is a mermaid, This irrepressible picture book celebrates drag kids' individuality and self-confidence from the perspective of a fabulous wig, the description states. The description adds that the book is about a child who dresses in drag and competes in a neighborhood costume competition. In other words, Halloween. When a child dresses in drag to compete in a neighborhood costume competition, he becomes BB Bedazzle. A key part of BB Bedazzle's ensemble is a wig called Wig. A wig called Wig. How inventive. Together, they are unstoppable drag queen team, but Wig feels inadequate compared to the other bigger wigs. When Wig flies off BB's head, she goes from kid to kid, instilling confidence and inspiring dreams in those who wear her. It continues. Jesus Christ. And this is from the amazing libs of TikTok. A brilliant Twitter account, if ever I have seen one. So, pointing this out, at Pizza Hut sponsors a program which incentivizes kids in pre-K to 6th grade to read books. This week, one of their suggested books is Big Wig, a book about a child who becomes a drag performer. Now, okay, let me be very, very clear here. I don't care what my kids dress in. I really don't. If my son wants to go to Halloween dressed as the Wicked Witch of the West, I don't care. It doesn't make him a drag kid, right? And this certainly sounds like, if you read the synopsis of the book, a Halloween competition, local neighborhood costume competition, dresses in drag. I mean, who among us, British men anyway, hasn't dressed in drag at some point? Be it for entertainment purposes, be it for a laugh. Stuck on a wig. I mean, I do it on this show quite often. I become Maureen Hancock, the Minister for Natural Health. I just don't understand why this sort of content exists for children. If people want to read about this shit, fine. I've not got a problem with that. But pre-kindergarten? Why? I need some justification for it. I really do. And I'm not seeing any. I'm not against it per se. Well, I'm against it being given to the kids. Absolutely. But I'm not against the type of content being made. But just make it for an audience that can choose to read it and choose to understand it. The book was promoted as part of Pizza Hut's Camp Book It program, which runs during the summer. Participants in pre-K to 6th grade can receive a personal pan pizza as a reward for meeting their reading goal, according to a screenshot of an email tweeted by Libs of TikTok. Big Wig is being featured as part of Pride Month, according to the email. And that, therein lies why this thing is there, right? Pride Month. And once again, I don't have a problem with people celebrating their pride, with people celebrating their culture. Don't force it on kids. Don't force it down others. Don't force it on small children who don't understand. And they don't understand. It's like this idea we're told that the 2-year-olds can choose their quote-unquote gender. This is ridiculous. Of course they can't. You know, my son sometimes runs around, he's 8. Wants to be a fire truck. Shall I get him a hose? And say, there you go, son, you're now a fire truck. We're going to grow you, we're going to raise you as a fire truck. Anytime there's a serious fire, we're going to take you down there. You can do your thing as a fire truck. Kids do not understand what they are talking about. They don't. And I just don't understand what we're doing here. I really don't. But get woke, go broke. I imagine there will be some kind of boycott of Pizza Hut, and probably with enough people that their profits are hit. Maybe not majorly, but I would suggest that they take heed of this backlash and they listen. Because at this point, this quote-unquote woke stuff is pretty much at an end in the minds of the public. Public have had enough. Be it hashtag Me Too, believe all women, Johnny Depp. Be it, I don't know. But people have genuinely had enough of this. And you can see it. You can see the backlash. You never see this kind of backlash on this scale going the other way, right? Because the quote-unquote woke people, they're a loud minority, but a minority they are. And people have to realise and remember this fact. Anyhow, let's get back to Twitter, shall we? Should we have a look and see what else is trending? Day 3 of the Platinum Jubilee celebrations begin with the Queen set to miss the Epsom Derby. Now, that's pretty much every event now, right? Pretty much every event of this Platinum Jubilee celebration, celebrating her 70th year, Godzilla's 70th year on the throne. She's missed it. I've seen speculation that she may have shuffled off the mortal coil. John has been calling the version of her that was up on the balcony yesterday morning or Thursday morning, Bernie. So, who knows? But I certainly think that Her Majesty is not long for this world, but I also don't quite understand why we're spending hundreds of millions of pounds of taxpayers' money on these celebrations. I mean, did you see yesterday they were in St. Paul's Cathedral and then they went to a reception at the Guildhall. Now, we did live commentary on this. This ceremony, this Thanksgiving of the monarchy, began at 9:15 in the morning, and the people that were being given thanks to the monarchy did not even bother to attend until gone 11 a.m. So it had been going on for nearly 2 hours before they even bothered to turn up. And then within an hour, they were back out the door, getting into their Rolls Royces. One of them had a coach, a bunch of them had a coach, a minibus, all of these gas-guzzling vehicles. Remember, Prince Charles is one of the biggest proponents of, climate emergency, climate change. There he is, Cop Out 26. It's the biggest fight of our lives. It's climate change. And he jumps himself in a Rolls Royce car from the Guildhall. Well, no, sorry. From St. Paul's Cathedral to the Guildhall. The journey was so short you could still see the crowd that were outside of St. Paul's Cathedral when they were getting out of the roller. When you look at it on Google Maps, it takes 4 minutes on a bicycle to make the journey. And yet these people want to lecture us about climate change? When they're getting in Rolls Royces to go, what is a 4-minute cycle ride? Bit of hypocrisy if ever I did see it, and it's just a case of we need to stop listening to these people. These people they're not good people. They're not. And when we are entering one of the biggest cost of living crises in living memory, in fact, probably more than living memory in my case, being 32 years of age, do we think the optics of spending hundreds of millions of pounds of taxpayers' money to watch Boris Johnson, Sadiq Khan, Nicola Sturgeon, Prince Charles, Prince William, all of these people who look down their noses at you, me, and the rest of the working class, to watch them take expensive bottles of wine, drink gin and tonics, drink champagne, and have these exclusive parties that you plebs are stuck behind barriers having to watch? Do we think that's good optics? Using taxpayers' money to do that? Because I certainly don't think that's good optics in any way, shape, or form. And I think it's obscene. I think it's a travesty. And people say, oh, they make 10 times what they cost the country. Well, I don't see any evidence of that. I really don't see any evidence of that. But hey-ho. That's what's going on there. Trafalgar Square is trending. Shall we have a look and see why Trafalgar Square is trending? From The Guardian. We'll click on The Guardian and see if they make us pay to read this, shall we? So, police evacuate Trafalgar Square and carry out controlled explosion. Ooh, controlled demolition, controlled explosion, ladies and gentlemen. Suspicious vehicle reported close to Platinum Jubilee concert site, but police say incident not terror-related. Police have evacuated Trafalgar Square and carried out a controlled explosion after reports of a suspicious vehicle yards away from where part of the Queen's Platinum Jubilee celebrations are to be held. Metropolitan Police were seen asking people to leave the area after receiving a report from a member of the public at 9:22 a.m. on Saturday. Guests staying at a hotel nearby were also evacuated, and police told people not to travel to the area. People near the scene said they had heard a bang, and Scotland Yard confirmed a small controlled explosion had been carried out. A spokesperson said it was not terror-related. Now, on the corner of Trafalgar Square, right in the corner of Trafalgar Square, there is a Tesco Express. Right? There's a Tesco Express, and there's a few pubs. And what's the betting that this poor bugger, I don't know if he is a poor bugger, but what's the betting that something along the lines of this happened? Needed to go and get a pack of fags. Put his car somewhere he shouldn't have, stuck the hazard lights off, jumped off, went in Tesco Express, and the police blew part of his vehicle up. Now, obviously, I can't say that that is what happened, but it would be both amusing and sad if it was. The square, which hosts Nelson's Column and stretches out in front of the National Gallery, has since been reopened. Police attended a report from a member of the public at 9:22 of a suspicious vehicle in Trafalgar Square. This was investigated, and after police took action, we have no further concern. This was not terrorism related. The incident has now concluded, and the square will reopen in due course, police said on the Twitters. A spokesperson told Reuters intensive checks were being carried out in the area, which is a short distance from where a concert is being staged outside Buckingham Palace later in the day. Sunday's Platinum Jubilee pageant will pass Trafalgar Square, turning onto Whitehall from the Mall. Scotland Yard said the incident was believed to have involved a suspicious package. Now, what do you think? Let's kick it over to you. If there anybody is watching this, if there is anybody watching this, it doesn't matter what platform you're on. If you're watching on Twitter, then head over to the YouTube channel or the Twitch channel. It's youtube.com/Chasing Dissent Official or twitch.tv/Dissent Media. And you can head over there and get involved in the conversation. Now, I did not expect many people to be watching this afternoon because it is a lovely Saturday afternoon, and I've only really done it because I was bored and I wanted to talk to you lovely people, and I wanted to add some content to the channel. I don't envision it going on any longer than about 45 minutes an hour, but it's really, really nice to be here. I wish you were with me, John, but I know that you're sitting there holding your head going, should not have drunk that gin. Should not have drunk that gin. Gin is evil, ladies and gentlemen. That stuff will give you a headache. And this is from someone who for the last 10 years has been pretty much sober until very recently, when I've been enjoying a nice spot of wine. Not getting pissed, just enjoying a nice glass of wine every now and again. So what else is going on over on the Twitters? Oh my god, Jesus, fuck it, what the hell? This is from Charlotte Emma UK. What in the fuckity fuck is wrong with people? What are we even looking at here? I mean, what are we even looking at here, Charlotte? What are you doing to us, Charlotte? And from a friend of mine, Lord Michael Martin, 1st Duke of Bexhill. Saying Bexhill today, totally gorgeous. That is a wonderful vehicle, a dream vehicle of mine, a T2 Volkswagen Transporter with a split screen. But knowing my luck, if I'm ever able to afford one, I'll get it, I'll turn it on, it'll drive about 14 feet, it'll break down, it will never start again. So perhaps it's one for me to just continue to want rather than have. Johnny Depp there, living his best life. Anyway, I want to go back to what's happening. I want to go back to what's trending, because that's what we should be talking about. Andrew Neil is trending. Shall we see what Andrew Neil's trending? Let's have a look at Andrew. Andrew Neil, Jubilee shows the UK is not divided nation, the woke think. I don't really want to get into that, to be honest. He's not really done anything controversial. And Amber Turd is an abuser is trending, and that's very interesting that it continues to trend, despite the fact that Amber Heard's lawyer Elaine Braderhoff has been doing the rounds on mainstream media, NBC, Today Show, and other things like that, saying basically that the jury got it wrong, the jury was influenced, Amber didn't do nothing, Johnny's an abuser. And I think she's out there actually defaming Johnny Depp some more on behalf of Amber Heard, because the one count that was found against Johnny Depp was a statement made by his lawyer. It wasn't even made by him. And it was a statement made by his lawyer. And that statement was something along the lines of, Amber Heard called the police turned up, the body cam footage is there was no damage to Amber Heard, there was no marks on her, there was no damage to the apartment. And then he said, so what they did was she colluded with her friends, roughed up the apartment, spilt some wine, called the police back in order to try and get a restraining order. And there was no evidence to substantiate that bit of the claim, though in reality we could assume, we could definitely opine that probably maybe could have happened. But because there was no evidence, they said, right, well, we have to give her essentially a sympathy vote and let her have that one. It was nothing to do with him abusing her. It was nothing to do with anything of the sort. In fact, the jury were very clear in their verdict that this was indeed a hoax perpetrated by Miss Heard. But now, Amber Heard's lawyer is going around doing the rounds on mainstream television, essentially continuing to defame. And this was a defamation case, by the way. And she's essentially doing the rounds, continuing to defame, which is very, very interesting, isn't it? And even one would say the statement that Amber put out after the trial could still be classed as defamation, despite the fact she has been found 100% guilty of defamation and making up her claims. That's what the jury decided. So I'm pretty surprised that it's still in the public mind, because it's done now. But she does claim she is going to appeal. However, her appeal could be very interesting, because apparently she doesn't have the $10.35 million that she owes him. And in the state of Virginia, if you wish to lodge an appeal, you must stake the entire judgment, which is $10.35 million, plus interest and lawyers' fees in advance to the court in full in order to lodge that appeal. And her lawyer is saying she doesn't have that money. So if she doesn't have that money, she's not going to be able to stake that money, and therefore she's not going to be able to appeal. Anyhow, scum media is trending. This trends pretty much every other day at the moment, doesn't it? So let's see why it's let's go through some. So Lucy Lockett here says scum media is trending at number 1. I've no idea whether BJ was booed or not. I've seen clips of both, but the good thing is people are realising the mainstream media lies. Reports what they're told to instead of what they actually happened and cannot be trusted. What else do they lie about? Now, this, I think, this tweet in particular pertains to Boris Johnson and Carrie's arrival at yesterday's Thanksgiving ceremony. Now, me and John streamed this live. We've done a live stream. It's on our YouTube channel. And I can confirm, we watched on the Royal Family channel's feed, so with no commentary, no mainstream media commentary or anything of the sort. The only people providing commentary were us. And I can confirm there was a fair amount of booing when Alexander Boris de Pfeffel Johnson arrived at St. Paul's Cathedral. We've got it on our stream. You can go there and watch it at youtube.com/Chasing Dissent Official. That's youtube.com/Chasing Dissent Official. So we can put that to bed, okay? There was plenty of booing. It was rather loud, and the same also when Harry and Meghan arrived. There was booing. There was very audible booing. I'm not so sure about Sadiq Khan, but definitely Boris Johnson and Carrie, there was very audible booing. You can hear it featured in our stream. Once again, we were using a source that had no mainstream media commentary on it at all. We were using a channel called the Royal Family Channel. And the same with Harry and Meghan. So let's go down here. Amra Watson says, the Back Boris cultists are now at the point of their final most essential command. The Party told you to reject the evidence of your eyes and ears. It was their final, most essential command. George Orwell. Well, that quote could be attributed to anyone who believed the instructions coming out of Downing Street for the last 2+ years, because the evidence of your eyes and ears said something completely different for the most part, for most people, for the vast majority of people. And that's why I always said to people in my little videos, in my little shorts, use your eyes, because you were being told one thing by Downing Street and by Whitty and by Valence, but actually, in reality, out on the street, what they were telling you was not playing out anywhere in any significant way, and your eyes told you that. They told you to reject the evidence of your eyes and ears. That's very true. Susie Wong. We're just going through some hashtag scum medias here. Susie Wong. That's a name. Hashtag scum media. I've had way over 150,000 spent on me since my kidneys failed in 2003. Dialysis transplant. And I've not had to pay anything up front. Under a private system, I will be dead. Get that into your stupid, thick Brit skulls. The media, silent about what you will lose. No, that's not how insurance works, but I do see your concern. Adam Elsden. It seems to me like the hashtag scum media, which was a trend essentially started by the anti-lockdown crowd, has been co-opted here. So the scum media tag is suggesting that the audio was tampered by our media and booing added. So here is the foreign news coverage of the same event. Looks like the government propaganda machine is telling us that boos didn't happen. They absolutely did. And like I said, we were watching the royal family feed. You can go and see our coverage, watch our coverage at youtube.com/chasing descent official. But we'll look at this little Reuters Asia. Let's listen. We can decide for ourselves. So very audible boos there. A lot of cheering, but very audible boos. And I said yesterday during our coverage, and I stick to this thesis, that most of the people walking up that step into St. Paul's Cathedral had a little side glance and thought, my God, I would rather be over in that Five Guys burger joint, because Christ, their burgers are brilliant, their milkshakes are good, they're really expensive, but Christ, are they worth it. I do enjoy a Five Guys. Paddy R361 here says, hashtag scum media, the bots are active this morning. Johnson must have had a fit at all the booing. Carrie, do something, you fat oaf. You just can't you just get Putin to tell his disinformation machine to change the truth. Susie Wong again. Oh my God. So Mr. M Isery Guts, hashtag back Boris. Now this is one concerning hashtag to me, right? Because over the last 2 years, in the main court of public opinion, on the main thing that's been on everybody's minds, we all know what that is. Everyone on either side of this, so the people who are pro the restrictions or anti the restrictions, we all could meet in the middle on one thing. Boris Johnson has to go. Okay? We all agreed on that. Now, we didn't agree on it for the same reasons. We all agreed on it for different reasons. Mostly because, well actually, we all agree that he was lying to us, but once again, lying to us about different things. So it was the same movie, but, well, the same screen, and we were all watching two different movies, essentially. But he was lying to us. He was lying to us about the severity of things. He was lying to us about, quote-unquote, effectiveness of, quote-unquote, deterrent, shall we say. He was lying to us about a great deal of things, and those lies have ultimately and the fallout from those lies have ultimately caused the cost of living crisis that we currently see ourselves in. That's not just here, that's everyone who followed this path. You shut down your economy for 2 years. You grind your economy to a halt. There is no trade. There is... what do you expect is going to happen? What do you expect is going to happen? Recovery doesn't happen like that. And in order to get to anywhere near where we were, it's going to take years. It's going to take millions of people falling below the poverty line. It's going to take untold, unfathomable death, because I don't care if people want to hear it or not, wealth and health are absolutely linked, especially if you've got so many unemployed that they're not paying into the system for a national health system. Where's the money coming from to fund it? Just thin air? Because quantitative easing, what people always on the other side of this say, oh, just print more money, it'd be fine. Just print more money, it'd be fine. It's not how it works. Your economy has a value, and it has an overall value. And if you continue pumping funny money into the system, and that doesn't just have to be printing banknotes, that can be just tappy on the computer and creating more fake money, as we'll call it, numbers on a screen. If we continue to do that, then every single pound that's already in the economy is actually now worth less. So the value of your economy does not grow if you print billions of pounds. It simply devalues whatever's already there. And that's why you see inflation. That's why you see hyperinflation. And I think if something is not done very soon, that's where we're going, especially if you look at the cost of energy. You could gas and electricity. The bills are getting out of control. Out of control. And Boris, if he really wanted to help, if the government really wanted to do something about it, they could have done months ago. Now, I don't give really much credit to world leaders, and especially those in places like France, but credit where credit is due for Emmanuel Macron. Because Emmanuel Macron capped energy price increase. He legislated it at around 4.5%. Our government, Boris Johnson, Rishi Sunak, those in charge, could have done the same thing for me, you, and everybody else. They could have months ago legislated that the energy companies could not rise their prices or bring them up more than 3.5, 4.5%. They could still do that right now. They could legislate that the energy companies cannot raise prices on consumers more than 4.5% above the cost it was a year ago. But they chose not to. They chose not to do that. They could do it at any time, but they have chosen not to. And what does that say? What does that tell you? They want you all indebted to them. They keep offering, oh, we're going to give you this loan that you've not asked for towards the cost of living crisis. We're going to give it to you. You have to pay it back. You didn't ask for it, but you have to pay it back. You're now indebted to the government. People indebted to the government are easier to control. Now, I'm not saying that I'm not making the claim that they did this on purpose, but I'll leave it for you to decide, because I don't think that this is good for you, me, anybody else. Anyway, I think I'm not going to bother you guys any longer. I've had a little bit of a rant, a little bit of an anything goes, and I hope those that tuned in did enjoy. And if you're watching this back right now, hi. And if John wants to put it on a podcast, hi on the podcast. This is just a little bit of content for a Saturday afternoon, a little bit of opinion for you. And I'm going to get out of here. So, thank you all for tuning in, if you did tune in, whatever platform you did tune in on. And if you want to help towards keeping the main shows going on a Wednesday and Sunday at 8 PM, and the After Dark interview show on a Thursday at 8 PM, and all of the other content in between, things like this, off-stream videos from me and John, on-the-ground live streams, on-the-ground reporting, then we would appreciate a little bit of help if you can afford it. We would really appreciate a little bit of help towards building this up, making this go further, building the quality and all of that. So if you're able to, please head to patreon.com/chasingdescent or subscribestar.com/chasingdescent, where you can pledge to us on a monthly basis from as little as £1 up to £20. Whatever you can afford. If you can afford nothing, then please don't give us what you can't afford and continue to watch this stuff because it'll always be free. However, if you do support us, then there will be a bit of bonus content. It's completely different content. Me and John playing golf, me and John having a laugh. Adam will come in for some of it. Just to say a little thank you. So, I'm getting out of here. Thank you all for being here. Big love to every single one of you, and see you tomorrow night, 8 PM, with John for episode 94 of Chasing Descent Live. Bye for now.